Jawaballs!
Okay, hi there. So, here's what I have now. I have finished washing Dante, and I went in and started doing some of the next step already. Shining gold again. So the next step now is to come back over the raised areas of the armor and just hit them with a quick once over with shining gold again. You are not painting the whole thing. You are not putting a lot of brush on or paint on your brush. You're just going over the edges. I am zoomed in really close in macro mode. So I'm going to attempt to make sure I keep Dante here in the correct field of vision. So now I'm kind of just touching the paint onto the model, following the contours of the raised areas. In this case, the leg. He's got several muscles, sculpted muscles. I will follow down the contours of those raised areas. At the bottom of the leg, there's this little flange that sticks out. Down here is a little Achilles bone. The bottom edge of the muscle on the calf, I'll hit with a few more. I'm just touching it on there. Looking at the bottom of the foot here, right across the bottom again, and then I'm going to touch it up towards the top of the foot. Not too much at all. You don't want to cover up all that shading you've already done. What we're doing is just re-accenting all of the raised areas on his little cod piece, the Dante cod piece. Up in here. It's so hard to see if I'm in focus or not because I'm using a small camera and the readout is on the other side. What I'm doing here is almost, it's called scumbling, that's what I call it. I'm just touching color on, multiple layers of color. Touching it. The repeated touch is what blends it in for you. This kind of stippling that I do. Let me make sure I'm still in. Just get in there. Working on the legs. On this one, I'll come up here a bit with my little stippling. Dante's armor is covered with sculpted muscle. The beautiful part of it is that it's got all these organic shapes that you can kind of use to your advantage when you're highlighting. Organic shapes tend to highlight easier than geometric shapes. The difference is that geometric shapes are man-made shapes like circles, triangles, and squares. Organic shapes are rounded shapes like you would find in nature, like mussels, for example, or fruits, apples. So it's a little bit easier to kind of blend organic shapes because they kind of don't have any predetermined shape. When you're looking at a circular object, you expect it to shade in certain directions. Organic shapes kind of give you a little more freedom, such as the case here with these muscles in his calf here, his upper leg. You got a little freedom to where you highlight and what gets blended and what kind of recedes. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Paint is getting crusty on my brush. I'll wash it off, rinse, dry it. What's the time? 4 minutes. Excellent, Dante. Excellent. So let's see what else. I've already done up here around his arms. Let me touch his fingers really fast. Steady hand. Watch. Textbook how to steady your hand. I am pushing down the model onto the table. I am resting my finger, my pinky, on the table and on the model, holding the model steady. And the only moving going on is my forefingers here, my two fingers that are holding the brush. I support it with my index finger, the pointer finger, if that's, I'm not sure what finger it is. And they're the only things that move. Actually, I'll flip him around. Let's see if I'm in frame. Okay. I can work his back, the back of his legs here. The back of the calf muscle here is where it sticks out the most, so that's where we'll have the shiniest gold. A little bit on this side. Here, here. Am I in? Alright, let's see. Come across the bottom here of this back plate. I love this model. My second favorite model. My favorite is the Emperor's Champion. I love that model. I would love to do an honor guard like the one in the New Blood Angels Codex that has those beautiful honor guard models sculpted like Dante with the artificer armor. I suspect they're mostly just some dudes done with green stuff. I gotta see. Not sure if you can see this because it's a little bit off. It's a little bit closer than the focus frame, which was the surface of the mat. His knuckles got scraped off. Alright. Well, anyway, that's the next step. I'm going to finish him up off cam. And let me show you this now so you can work on this as well. Codex Gray is the next step for the chest eagle. This I will also finish off cam. I wanted to start it for you now though. Focusing on the end of the feathers. It's okay to leave the inside part of the feathers more shadow gray than Codex. There you go. I will finish the rest of him for this part off cam. Codex Gray on the feathers and shining gold on the raised parts of the armor. I use shining gold and Codex Gray straight from the pot on this step. No mixing unless your paint is too thick. Up for you to decide. More to come.